you are enjoying knowing what you are wanting? Have you figured out how it is that you know what you are wanting? It's nice that life focuses you, isn't it? Sometimes you think that you would rather not know what you want so much, because the reason you know what you want so much is because you know what you don't want so much. Something about that focusing that helps you to discern. And it's helpful when you focus yourself gently, but there is nothing wrong with extreme experiences that cause you to focus. Do you like strong desire? Yes. Do you enjoy strong, not yet manifested desires? Not so much. That's interesting, isn't it? And yet, if you knew what we know, and at some level you do, if you knew that if a desire exists, it can be manifested, then wouldn't the promise of that manifested desire make it worth the unfulfilled yet desire if you really knew? Yes. So what's the holdup? How is it that you don't really know? How is it that you can live life and hatch a desire or a whole bag full of them, and even though they have not yet come into full blossoming, see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it, fruition, you sometimes lose sight of the promise of it because the reality of the absence of it is so obvious? Is that what it is? So you're hung up on what is. Is that what you're telling us? Are those the words we just put in your mouth? Yes. Those are the words we just put in your mind. Because what is, you like what is, don't you? You like what is. Why do you like what is so much? What is it about this manifested moment that is so intoxicatingly important to you? What is it about what is? Well, it's because you can decipher it so fully. All of your physical senses are observing it. So you're seeing it and hearing it and smelling it and tasting it and touching it. And you say, this is reality. And we say, it is. It is reality. It is a manifestation point. Because as you're being in your now, everything that you are perceiving through all of your senses, and let's talk about the sense that you hardly ever talk about, that is the most important sense of all, and that is your emotional sense, how you feel in the moment, what you're seeing, what you're hearing, what you're smelling, what you're tasting, what you're touching, but what you're feeling in the moment. That's your manifestation point, isn't it? That's your manifestation point. The manifestation of the emotion within you is really big, isn't it? And we think that that's why your now has you so captivated. And we're not trying to talk you out of being captivated by your now. We're just trying to talk you into using your ability to focus so that as you are observing your now, you can hold yourself in alignment, or at least not so far out of alignment with the things that you have asked for that are already vibrationally gathered, that you have not yet come to the place of being able to translate in the fullness of your physical senses to the point that you call it reality or manifested. So we think what we're really talking about here today, are you with us so far? Mostly? Yeah, mostly you are. We think that what we're talking about is what manifestation really is. What is manifestation? What is it? Is it the new car that you just drove home? Or the one that you hope to do soon? Is it the house on the beach? Is it the relationship that you've been yearning for? Is it the pile of money? Is it the empire you're trying to build? Is it the perfect business environment? What is a manifestation? And we notice that often when you think about manifestation, you're thinking about those things or those experiences, those pinnacle, peak kind of things, those life-changing things. Oh, I want to create, or I want to manifest this kind of lifestyle, or this kind of relationship, or this kind of work experience, or this kind of meaningful, life-fulfilling experience. And we say, good for you, good for you, good for you. But when we talk about manifestation, we're talking about right here, right now. What has manifested in your life, which means how do you feel about your money? How do you feel about your body? How do you feel about your relationships? How do you feel about your economy? How do you feel about your government? How do you feel about your world involvement? How do you feel about your ecology? How do you feel? How do you feel? How do you feel? What is your perception of life? What is your manifested right here, right now perception of life. And the big question is, does it include, or better said, are you allowing it to include who you really are and what you really know and what you really think and what you really feel about all of that? Because most humans, the beasts are an exception because they're tuned in, tapped in, turned on. They are, you call it instinctually, they are instinctually focused, which means broad view, always focusing through them. But humans, we love you very much. Humans have managed to focus yourselves apart from the fullness of who you are, so that in many of your manifested moments, you're not allowing all that you have become. And that is so interesting to us, because all day, every day, as you've been sifting through the variety of life, it has caused you to create a vibrational version of you, which is where we stand, which is always the precursor to your manifested version. But you know what's required for your manifested version of you? Only vibrational compliance, only emotional compliance. You only got to be in the mood for what you're asking for, and it must be. That's all it is. Your attitude, your mood must line up with what you want. And if you're so hung up on reality, and if you're letting reality, which sometimes includes the absence of the new car, the new lover, the old lover, the good body, or whatever it is you're reaching for, if you're facing reality and noticing the absence of something wanted, and that absence is now dictating your mood, your manifested attitude, your manifested worldview, your manifested personal view. If your view is dictated to you or influenced to you, and you are in that vibration, which equals the mood or the emotion, you are depriving yourself of that full view. All that means is you've pinched yourself off from something that really is, and you can't see it yet. It's so interesting to talk with our physical friends, because you, we love you very much, have such a warped view of reality. It's so warped. It's like you have a big house and every room is beautifully furnished and immaculately tended to and technologically brilliant. It's just this fabulous house with this incredible view, surrounded by the most beautiful plants, and you have decided to live in the closet with the vacuum. And sometimes other people come to visit you and they look around your house and they say, "Oh, wow. Oh, I would give anything to live here." And you'd say, "Why? Why?" Because without meaning to, you have practiced yourself into viewpoints that are depriving you of the fullness of all that you are. And we want you to come out into the rest of your house. We want you to come out into your world. We want you to find a way a little more every day to allow your full view of not just what is, but what is becoming. Because what is changing in relationship to what your viewpoint is, you see. Everything is perceptual. So if you are sick, it's a perceptual thing. And often you will say, no. It's proven by the tests, by the facts. There are a lot of people who are confirming this sickness or confirming this bankruptcy or confirming where I stand. And we say, all that is happening is that you are perceiving fragments of that which you really are, because you are practiced at not allowing the fullness of who you are to manifest. So when we talk about manifestation, what we're really talking about is your perception of what's around you, your perception of your body, your perception of your world, your perception of your economy. That's the big one these days. So many people perceiving based upon what other people are perceiving. That's like saying, well, my mother lived in the closet and her mother lived in the closet, and I thought we were just supposed to live in the closet. And I know it's not rational when I listen to you, Abraham. I know that I could just open the door and come out, but it's not easy to open the door and come out when I've been in here for so long. Now this analogy is strong. You laughed at it at first. Now it's starting to depress you. But the reason that we offer analogies is because we want to get your attention. We would like you to leave here today saying to yourself, I want full view. I want full view, which means I want to be, moment by moment, day by day, up to speed with how the source within me is viewing life. And what we mean by that is you are so much more than these physical bodies. You are so much more than this physical beingness that you sometimes or even often perceive. You have source within you. You are more vibration than you are anything else. So we would like to convince you that this is a vibrational world. It's a vibrational world that is changing constantly and has already changed in ways that please you, that you are depriving yourself of seeing because you haven't come out of the closet yet. You're still hiding from the real reality as you are scrutinizing the limited reality. And when you realize that there is a bigger reality, we want to coax you over here into this vibrational reality, this vortex of creation. We want to coax you over often enough, speaking to you in reasonable terms until we elicit from you a vibrational resonance that then gives you full view. Sometimes in your human vocabulary you say, oh, then I saw the light. Then I saw the light. And we say, yeah, that's what we're talking about. Then I remembered who I am. Then I remembered that all is well. Then I remembered why I'm here. Then I remembered who I am. Then I remembered all is well. Then I remembered who I am. Then I remembered how it feels. Then I remembered. And it's a visceral memory. It's a lighthearted memory. It's a all is well memory. It's everything is good memory. It's that it doesn't matter what appears to be through my screwy, limited, self-inflicted interpretation of manifestation. We want you to hear us and believe us when we say there are manifestations in your vortex that if you will hope for them and believe for them and eventually come to know them, they will manifest in full view for you. Have you ever had an experience of sharing the planet with others who don't see it the way you do? Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever been in a particular place in time where you were laughing and someone else was crying and you were standing in the same space? Have you ever noticed that perception is about what's happening to you individually, not about what's happening to you collectively? But if you are able to drum up enough attention to the collective, from CNN does a good job of it and so forth, that the individual perspective is then skewed by the larger perspective, then you begin feeling much the same way, and then you begin having more and more of the same experiences. That's really what economic tides are about. In other words, if you could listen as a collective consciousness to 30 days of good news about your economy, it would become a global reality. You don't have to wait for them to figure that out. It can become a personal reality, you see. You don't have to wait for anyone to figure out. You don't have to wait for the manifestation that you've been observing to improve before your mood improves. In fact, that's backwards of what deliberate creation is. If you can figure out how to improve your mood, your improved mood will put you in a vibrational resonance with the broader point of view. And when your personal point of attraction harmonizes with the point of view of the source within you, you have a point of attraction that is so powerful, nothing can keep it from being. But if you let your point of attraction get separated from that larger view, there's not enough action in the world. You cannot buck your own current, you see. So now we're going to start at the beginning of this, just briefly. We know you've heard it from us, but in light of what you just heard us say, now we're going to rework that into the picture that you've been hearing before. So you were source energy before you came into these physical bodies, and the larger part of you still is source energy. Now, many of you want to say, blah, 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 blah. I don't care about that part of me. I don't even remember that part of me. Don't talk to me about that part of me. And we say, we have to talk to you about that part of you because that's your source, that's your power, that's your clarity, that's your wellness, that's your energy stream, and you want that to be your point of attraction. If you're running around in this physical body and your point of attraction is just based upon the stuff you think all day, you're in deep doo-doo because you watch CNN.